just like you and me. We've all got scars, but we found our place. A little love and mud, and a whole lot of grace. We show the good, the bad, and the ugly too. The highs, the lows, it's all part of the view. So laugh, love, and maybe cry sometimes with a gang of misfits who always shine. So come on in, kick off your shoes. Oh God! It's more than a range, it's a family crew, and these rescues, they might just rescue you. Welcome to I'm a Survivor. You'll see what second chances are meant to be. We're all survivors of something, it's true, and there's room in this family for all of you. We're all survivors of something, you see. So pull up a seat with our rescue family.
She logs off late from a long day's call, solving problems, juggling it all. When the day is done and the sun goes down, she trades the job for the open ground. There's hay to haul and stalls to clean, a muddy path where her soul feels seen. It's not just chores, it's something more. It's the dream she's always been working for. From suits to boots, from desk to dirt, she's proven what a dream is worth. You don't need fame, you don't need praise, just a will to give and a heart that stays. She's got spreadsheets open by morning light, with horses waiting come early night. She's not chasing gold or spotlight gleam, she's just living out her kind of dream. Long days, sore hands, and early starts, but the work she does with heart. 'Cause when you earn it with your time and sweat, you never live with the one regret. Ooh. So don't you wait for the perfect day. Find your fire and lead the way. You can thrive in both your worlds, wearing strength like a strand of pearls. From suits to boots, from desk to dirt, she's showing what her life is worth. Follow your heart and don't let go. You've got more fire than you know. Work hard, stay true, and see it through. Your double life might be the real you.
And good morning and hi to hello.
Morning, y'all.
Beautiful morning here, guys. I hope you guys are off to a wonderful Saturday. I don't have transition lenses, but look how they transition and get so dark.
Put that light down in front of us instead of where it is. That's the problem. We're like,
I'm fine. I don't really need glasses. I think I can see fine.
I know, but
Is your computer? So we're on Jamie's computer today. This is not my normal setup.
it's small.
I
It's
have
small.
a studio. I have
Lester
a
has
studio.
a studio.
setup.
Annie has a bigger one. I have the mini version.
I do have a big studio. I have an entire RV kitchen as my studio, and I love it.
That's better.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. And thank you for all the wonderful comments. I was afraid that by playing both of our intros, folks are going to be screaming and hollering about, it's taking too long. It's taking too long.
Where are they? Who's getting ready still? Who can't find the blah, blah, blah?
Will you pull that off of my shirt?
That is what's taking so long.
I still got this gift I'd never had a chance to wear. Life is better with the Belgian.
That is true.
This was a wonderful gift, and Roman has just been a huge part.
Do you want to know what somebody told me the other day?
What?
Once you go draft, you don't go back.
Once you go draft, you never go back. I don't get it. Why is that funny?
Draft horses.
I know, but like, why are you like making that chuckle for?
Because it's true. Because they're like the most amazing, majestic, like everybody, like, I'll be honest, like there were a lot of people who, when I used to talk about that having a draft of Clydesdale was my dream.
That noise you hear is the ranch hand. That noise you hear is ranch hand, and he fights the other kittens. Play fight, but he starts it or she starts it, and then she gets herself beat up because they're bigger than she is. Keep going with your story.
Anyway, there are a lot of people that warn me, like, it's too much work. You can't keep up with they require a lot of maintenance on their legs and their hair care, and they eat 3 times as much as any other horse, and they get arthritis. Like, they warned me a lot.
We were warned.
And then they came into our lives, and I'm sorry, they're the most amazing animals for me. And I love all horses, but there is something about a draft.
Yeah. The intros, well, of course, all the video is our videos,
Mm-hmm.
but the intros were a gift that were compiled with music and fit. I
can't turn it off. Your distraction. I'm sorry that you're distracted, but how did you ever function in school when a kid was distracted? Did you just be like,
No. I ruled with an iron fist. I
remember videos where there's like spinners on your head and where people are like giving you hair, and like also where, one of the very first videos that Lester ever sent me, I probably still have it.
Oh, Lordy.
His phone is either by a student or on his desk, and he's walking by with weights in his class as all of his kids are sitting on desk on their phones and just messing around. Mr. Iron Fist.
We did have some fun. I think that one of the funnest things, I'm going to do something over here, and you guys are going to give me a moment to do it. But there was one of the funnest activities that I would ever do in my classes, and one that I'll never be able to do again with anybody, was our freeze mob.
Yes.
Remember the freeze mob?
That was a long time ago.
You guys give me a moment to find a freeze mob. I did this with every age I ever taught. Here's one from 6 years ago. Let me just see if I can watch this first. All right, this is kind of dumb.
Sorry, we don't have your StreamYard for you to share it.
Yeah, if we were in my studio, I could simply just flip-flop it right over.
Listen, I'm working on getting him a second setup.
It's 9:05. We're going to do a restroom break, I think, guys. Let me check the restrooms real fast. Restrooms are empty. We can go ahead and get lined up. Kids? What? What in the world? What's happening? What's going on here? It's so dumb. It's like these kids are absolutely frozen in time. But they loved it. I don't understand what could have happened. This is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen.
The other kid at Lester's desk.
Yeah.
I'm going to
at my computer.
Call for the nurse. Nurse? Huh? Disregard.
Okay. I know it's dumb. Huh?
Oh, I thought it was going to stop.
We would do that every year. Every year, no matter what class I had, we had this freeze mob. And it was something that the kids would love to do. And then so you would make them work to earn incentives to do stuff like the freeze mob. Now, listen, that right there was done inside of our classroom, but we would actually we would do the freeze mobs in the cafeteria. We would do freeze mobs anywhere that there were other students. And it was so fun to see how well disciplined these kids could just freeze and not move. We did not create the freeze mob. Freeze mobs are something that we've seen happen in New York.
He
Central
was that
Park.
teacher. He was absolutely that teacher, like the super fun teacher. So Mr. I ruled with an iron fist has never ruled with an iron fist.
Well, I ruled with consequences and rewards.
Yes.
And so
that's how it happens with the kids on Morrow Hill, because he's the fun house forever. Forever. His classroom was the fun house. And I'm going to tell a secret. Other teachers would get mad at him.
Oh, yeah, they hated me.
Because the kids loved him so much and he didn't have to yell or scream or punish or anything like that. The other teachers would get jealous. He would come home and be like, well, I didn't make a friend today in my, he had like pairs of teachers. And his pair teacher hated his guts because the kids would behave so much better. I need to look at my phone in case that delivery is here.
Okay, yeah. Something else that we would do is we would do these handshakes. And I'll show you one. Now, this is from 11 years ago, y'all. 11 years ago. Let me make it big.
9:05. We're going to do a restroom break, I think, guys. Can you check the restrooms real fast? Restrooms are empty. We can go ahead and get live.
Why won't it play, Jamie?
I don't know. You're having a hard time without his studio this morning. We've totally screwed everything up. I can tell now until I get a studio here that we will not be going live very much here at the South. We will have to go to North.
Well, what's crazy is I can pull it up, but it won't play. It goes to something else.
Sorry, love.
That's okay. All right, let's try this again.
How come we don't create a handshake?
I don't know.
Never done it with me.
On the world record longest handshake.
Can you turn the light off for a minute? The ring light.
As young as a third
Look how young I was.
Camacho.
Jamie, look how young I was 11 years ago.
You look the same. Things are a little bit different.
Little Matrix. Electric Boogaloo.
I was so young. How did I get old? That was a third grade classroom.
What were you really supposed to be teaching us?
World record handshakes.
How you doing, Steven? Have a good day.
Now, hold on. Before you turn it back on, I want to show one last thing. And I'm sorry that you're bored. I'm sorry that you're so miserably bored. And Jamie's not having a chance to talk. But I want to show you how the handshakes evolved. Here we go with the handshake from a few years later. Oh, and that video, I have it set for private. Well, that ain't going to work, Jamie. I have that video set for private, I guess because there must be kids in there. Let me make it for public now. All right, here we go. All right, now watch how they evolve.
Let's go.
These are older students. We evolve. Handshakes evolve. Do you remember that was during the Fortnite era? Salt Bay. Salt Bay.
Come on, Michelle.
we would take it, and then every kid would walk by. Do you know how much time that would take?
Yeah, that's why I said, what else did you get done, Lester?
If every kid would walk by and do the handshake, and it was 45 moves. 45, y'all. You know what's crazy? Is to realize that this over here was recorded 7 years ago. Those kids have graduated by now.
Mm-hmm.
Those kids are grown adults, serving in the military, in the workforce. Some are probably moms, dads. And here they are doing this handshake with their teacher. And it used to take so much time. I remember that when we would start class, and we always had a few minutes that every principal would allow you an allotment of time for what they call general housekeeping, because every teacher has to go over the general rules, remind kids of certain things, and they want you to teach, obviously, but they will allow you. Huh?
She's done with you now.
She's done with me?
She's scared.
I'm being too loud?
Yeah. Ranch Hand is scared of Lester's voice for some reason. And we don't exactly know why.
I saved you, little girl.
Pet her and love her.
Well, I saved this little munchkin.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your teaching.
No,
I
no,
just
it's
know I
okay.
have to put her away. And
If I'm being too loud. Sweet baby, you got to learn to love those who love you.
So she's getting a lot better, as you can see, because last week she would not have even come out here with me. And this week she's coming out on her own.
Yeah, she's a sweetie, but she's starting to play more. So she plays, she loves Jamie. Jamie feeds her.
Yeah, that's why.
And then she loves the other kittens when they come in to visit. So
anyway, so you had housekeeping time, and that's whenever you squeezed all that in.
Yeah,
and then
so
you got to work.
usually your first 15 minutes of class.
I can't.
What's wrong?
I'm gonna turn the light on, but no, the thing is like, why are we so fuzzy?
Listen, maybe you need to wipe your lens.
I don't think it's the lens. I actually think it's our internet.
Maybe I'm just fuzzy.
Well, you are, but hold on, y'all. I'm wiping you off.
Hey.
Still not great. I don't know. Something's weird today.
Yeah, we're not reading any questions right now. Someone says Lester keeps missing my question.
We're not at question time right now.
Normally we don't just sit here and stare at the comments. I'll sometimes peek, or Jamie can peek and just kind of see, but I haven't seen a particular question. So very sorry. But all I was saying, then I'll move on, is that your principal normally allows you 15, 20 minutes for what they call housekeeping. And that could be because some kids come in late. You don't want to start class with all your kids are not there. And so, we would use our housekeeping as a way to greet the students. So when the bell would ring and they'd start coming in, I would put on the music, and there I would go through all the different handshakes and all the different things. Then the next kid, then do all the handshakes.
But it kind of sets the tone for the day.
Yeah, it made them all crazy.
But I don't mean just crazy, but to put people in a good mood.
But
because not all kids come from a good home or anything like that, or maybe they didn't sleep last night, or maybe they didn't get to eat dinner. Like, there's a lot of things, and I think that it was really special that you brought the tone.
Ranch Hand, settle down.
Oh, she's out of control.
Now
that's why she wanted to get down.
She's like, I was on video, and none of y'all been on video. I've been on video, woo-hoo. And now they're all jealous of her, and she's kicking everyone's ass over there. She's the Ranch Hand. And if it's still blurry, then it may be internet issues, guys. I don't know.
I can't turn my phone on because I actually need it I'm waiting for a delivery.
Yeah. So it is what it is. Some days you get good service, some days you don't. But we don't have anything downloading or uploading or anything in the house. So not that we're aware of.
Is your Xbox still plugged in?
Hey, poor Jamie. She's been up and down and up and down. Well, hi there, Megan Elizabeth. Such a sweet lady. And no, but what was funny is, and no one saw this part, is even though I had one of my students videoing me with the students doing the handshake, behind the camera, every other kid's finding a friend, and they're also doing the handshake.
They're practicing.
So there's handshakes going on all around the classroom.
The funniest thing to me is whenever the kids were always at his desk, always. In every video that he's ever made, or even the ones that were just like to send to me about what's going on back in those days, there was always a student at Lester's desk. He never sat at his desk, ever.
Well, hold on a minute. That was part of my strategy. There was something strategic about that. See, how do I say this the right way? One of the, well, hold on. I mean, there were always small groups, and there was always kids who needed small group attention. Not everybody can learn in a whole group. Some kids required interventions, smaller groups, and some kids could work better in a group of 2 or 3, and sometimes it would be a one-on-one. But I was always having somebody at my desk for the one-on-one time. Now, I'm not going to say that sometimes those kids weren't grading papers, but if my boss was to walk by and peek in our room, and she did, and every year they would do that, they'd walk by and peek in, what she would see is me at my desk. She would see me at my desk, and she would see a student over there having some one-on-one time with their teacher. Probably this kid's struggling with something. In reality, this kid's over there grading papers.
He's struggling with grading your papers.
Guys, I needed help grading papers, okay?
Let's just say that Lester is the ultimate delegator and doesn't do the small, like doesn't have time for, patience for the small things. And that's kind of been, I hate to put you on the spot. That's kind of in real life too. Like there are things that you are amazing at and wonderful at.
But here comes the but. There are things I'm
there
amazing
are also
at,
things
but
that he's like, those fall to they're not things that he enjoys.
you better watch it before I pull this out.
By the way, who got him a professional kazoo with a cover?
Yes.
A safety cover.
You better watch it because I'll pull this out in a heartbeat and make everybody mad. So careful what you say, sweet lady. Careful what you say.
Miss Megan, thank you. You did not have to do that.
Megan, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Megan, why are you doing that?
Now he's going to go buy more kazoos.
Now I just probably have to get a few more of these kazoos.
The whole family's going to have kazoos.
I do have plans to take the kazoos to Morrow Hill.
Oh, you do? I thought you were going to say I do have quite a few kazoos.
What my plan is to take the kazoos to Morrow Hill and get all of the fun people, because you all know this will be a fun this will be fun. How about you guys tell us, list for us, who are the fun people on Morrow Hill who would actually take the kazoo and have a blast with it? Don't make me say it. Don't make me say it.
I don't know of one that wouldn't do it.
We could call ourselves the Morrow Hill Kazooers.
Oh, God.
The Morrow Hill Kazooers.
But tell me one person that wouldn't do it.
Ellie, Megan.
Okay.
Ellie and Megan would or just a little bit not. Everyone is saying Buddy, Jake. If you're saying Buddy and Jake, yeah, Stephanie probably would not do it.
Stephanie would absolutely do it. I actually watched a video of Stephanie and Bree and myself going to the Junk Gypsy in Round Top from 2 years ago, and I forgot how hilariously fun that trip was. But Stephanie would do it.
Lou would not do it. Dan would.
They would do it.
Well, listen, hold on. The reason I say Dan might not do it is because Dan is still so worried that someone at his job is going to see him on a video doing something stupid.
Oh, I'm past that. They all see me do stupid stuff.
Ranch Hand, Ranch Hand's gonna beat that.
That's why Ranch Hand is scared, because she yelled.
Ranch Hand is gonna beat the living mess out of every cat we have here.
All of them are in there. All the kittens are in there together.
At some point, Ranch Hand is gonna run this house. You do realize that.
Daniel Tiger just came running out. Look at him.
I want to show y'all real fast how our cats mess with each other.
I think that everybody would do it, and that's awesome. What I wonder though is when we go in September,
yeah,
do you think Jason and Brooke will do it?
Oh yeah.
And Zoe and Nick, like that crew, do you think that we can convince them to do a kazoo song with us?
I don't know. I doubt
y'all maybe we should send them some kazoos
to
since
practice,
we've gotten several,
and tell them the Titanic soundtrack, something that we all know.
I don't know about that.
Could you do me a favor and pull that up? I want to show you guys how our cats are constantly messing with each other. This is a everyday kind of thing, okay? The first one, I believe. This is just an everyday thing that our cats do. How our cats pick on each other. Barnadette's doing that on purpose.
Yes, Hank was relaxing here all alone.
Yeah, Hank was doing his own thing.
And she comes up and started swatting him in the face. Look
how mad. He just looked at you like, help.
What are you going to do, Hank? You don't
She's
scare
like,
me.
you don't have any claws, Hank.
Listen, Hank was laying there enjoying a cup of coffee with me and Jamie. This was a couple of days ago. We're sitting there having a cup of coffee. Just excuse the bar, the counter. It's life. We live
here.
We're a real family.
We live here in a very small space.
Yeah. And so it's me, Jamie, and Mr. Hank having a cup of coffee and a nice conversation. All right. It was Juneteenth. So Jamie was not working. We got a little bit of a late start, and we're all enjoying a nice conversation. Well, Barnadette did not like the fact that Hank was a part of our group, our circle. So Barnadette comes and puts herself right in the center of our group and then starts messing with Hank. You don't have any claw or teeth, you old man. Oh, no. Poor Hank. I'm so sorry. Hank was not bothering anybody.
No, Hank was being totally... Look at her. She's like, I didn't do anything.
Baby, we saw you, Barnadette. We saw what you did. You started all of that. Poor Mr.
You know
Hank.
what's sweet, though, is that they will find time. They will always find their
Hank, it's
stuff.
He
okay.
ain't even looking over here. He's like, this is unbelievable. He's like,
He goes,
outside.
Dad got his camera out. Gosh darn it, Dad's going to embarrass me in front
Yeah,
of all
Dad
my
saw the
friends.
whole thing on
Everyone
camera.
thought I was something special.
Yeah.
Now this old
Little barn cat.
scrappy cat comes in here
Oh,
and does that
Scrappy
to
cat.
me on a video.
Watch, Hank lays
Sorry,
back
Mr.
down.
Hank. He's going to try to get
Now
back
watch
to me
how
again.
scared he has
see how
PTSD
fast
now.
he-
Watch him.
Oh, boy.
She looked at him.
She looked at him, and now he has
Sorry,
the
Mr. Hank.
PTSD.
He's
Watch
trying to
him,
get
guys.
back to
Watch.
me
You got to
again.
watch them. Stop.
See how fast she...
Watch.
Oh, boy.
One last time. I love this. Y'all stop reading the
Comes in
comments
here and
and
does
watch
that
the
to me.
video.
On a
Hank
video.
has PTSD from
Sorry,
what
Mr. Hank.
Barnadette done slapped him silly.
Let's see how fast she... Oh, boy.
I should not be laughing, Jamie.
Poor Hank.
Is it right here? Where's it at?
Down there.
Down there.
Yeah.
Let me remove that. Oh, poor Mr. Hank. He used to have it made. It used to be just Mr. Hank. Just Mr. Hank.
You know, he went outside this morning. He
Yeah.
was like,
He's
I'm
like,
out. He's
I'm
like,
not going
"There's
to deal
too
with
much
all y'all,
chaos."
all this riffraff. Kittens are fighting all over my house. Barnadette's trying to take my sleeping spots. Mabel.
His treats. Oh my God. She stole his treats. Like if she can hear that from a mile away, those little temptations get sprinkled out. And she comes in and she is not shy. She gets right up in his business and he just looks at her like,
Yeah.
and he's so like submissive. Like he's not, he basically just like, okay, well, I guess he's like, Val, I guess I just don't get any today.
Yeah. He's like,
Like-
well, I guess I just have to wait till tomorrow, maybe. And so Barnadette, little scrappy barn cat, has come in here and just taken over the entire house. She
The
has
entire shop, the
she-
entire everything.
She has run Mabel off. She's run Uranus off. She's run everybody out of here.
So they like wait in the greenhouse in the morning for me to
Yeah.
walk outside like, hey, Mom. Hey, sorry we can't come visit you anymore because, you know, Barnadette. And then here's Barnadette right next to me. And now what's worse is Daniel Tiger's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
They don't go out like attacking. They just walk with a command. And it's the way that Stella does as well. It's very ironic. Like these little rescues just like chest out, head up.
Listen, these little Barnadette's babies, though, are just as she has instilled in them so much confidence. Last night, we all went over to the JL together. Jamie and I rode together. I did my Kahoot game with everybody. Jamie did horses. And we put all of the kittens, including Ranch Hand, together inside the room. All the cats we thought were outside. Somehow we forgot that little Morrow, gray kitty, was still in here with the dogs. So when we got home, I opened the door. I hear all the dogs barking because they hear the car come up. They're all excited. I open the door, and here's all of our dogs come running to the door, and here comes Mara, the little cat, with them. And I'm thinking, look at this little kitten, however old she is, with all this confidence, and
but part of them, but very much a part of them,
a part of them,
and they all look. They look for him, like they are. I don't think that people that have been here a short time realize that we had cat chasing dogs, like dogs that didn't do well with cats.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
At all. The rescue dogs came to us not cat friendly at all. And now to watch, Stella started with Mabel. Started and raised Mabel, and that changed everything. And we also have dogs who were chicken killers. So Christmas was very much like I'll say she became almost feral when it came to chickens.
Yeah. She resorted back to her roots.
Last year she, like, if a chicken was around, she was going to have it to eat. And that's part of what kept us from getting chickens. And I don't know if I know whenever the chickens came that we were like, no, and taught her, but it is remarkable that nobody chases kittens anymore, and nobody cares about chickens either. Like they have learned and adapted, and that's amazing to me for some little gas station street dogs.
Yeah, no, I agree. Something else, and there's so many magical moments that we don't and can't record. We don't have our cameras recording all day, every day. We were sitting down to watch TV while we ate dinner last night. This is late after we got back from the JL.
I ate way too late last night. And
Mabel came in, and Stella sitting on the couch. Mabel jumps up beside Stella, begins to, like, you know how cats will like rub themselves up and down you, trying to get you to whatever.
Lester's part cat.
And so Stella's sitting there sleeping, and then Mabel starts doing all this, and Stella wakes up, looks at her, and smiles. Like, I literally saw a smile.
And makes room.
I saw a smile come across her little doggy muzzle. And she kind of smelt her and looked at her and just kind of let her continue to, and Mabel sitting there just kind of going this way, then turning around, going the other way, then come back going this way, then going the other way.
Stella will open up her little arm.
Yeah, Stella made room, and Mabel laid down, and I'm thinking, that's just not normal. I mean, maybe it is.
It wasn't historically here. It was not normal here, actually, at all. And to think that how far they've come, and then now that new cats show up and that they're welcoming as well. And I don't know, it is not what we expected a few years ago, because it wasn't that in any way. And especially even the chickens. So like, do people know about Edward yet? Do people know?
I've not. The only chickens that I ever talk about is really Terrence.
Okay.
I don't even talk about Peepat because I don't think she's a chicken. I'm pretty sure she's a sparrow.
Peepat is a chicken.
I don't think so. I know that people say she is a unique kind of chicken, but listen, she looks like a bird. She does not look anything like a chicken. Even when she goes to roost at night, she does not roost with everybody else. She has a special roosting spot by herself. And I don't think that she's all chicken. I don't know if there's a potential for a crossbreed, but I think that she might be more bird than chicken. So I just kind of like, not sure. I think she's going to fly away one day.
That's a pigeon, somebody says.
I just think one day she's going to up and fly away, y'all.
She isn't going to fly away.
Jamie knows. Jamie Biggs says, yeah, she goes up and above the door. She does. She doesn't just perch or roost where everyone else does. She flies up behind the door.
Yeah.
She flies up behind the door. You're not hearing me. She flies up.
It's okay.
And goes behind the door.
It's okay.
And then the one thing about Peepat, she's living up to her name, because she's follows Terrence around and she watches him.
She's a watcher. And she will go do her own thing, but she's always like paying attention to what's going on. She's so
Judith
special.
has a chicken that looks just like Peepat, and it's a chicken, she says.
It is a chicken.
So when you ordered or when you were gifted, do they just come what they call just, here's a random bunch of eggs?
Well, that
Some-
those were no. She was not hatched. She was somebody. She was one of the 8 from Tractor Supply.
Oh, so
So
she
she's
came
a
from.
bantam from Tractor
Oh,
Supply.
she's a bantam.
Mhm.
Oh, well, I don't know.
But yeah,
y'all.
she came from Tractor Supply. I would. This sounds silly. If I have been waiting for another load of bantams to come in, not now.
Hold
but-
on.
hold
Can
on.
I have to argue with Amy for a minute. Go ahead. I'm going to argue. Amy, I'm going to argue with you for a minute.
Go ahead and argue.
No, tell your story because you're going to forget it.
All I'm watching for bantams to come in. Not now because it's summer and it's too hot. But in the fall, I want some more bantams that are hopefully like Terrence and Peapat. So the extra tiny ones, to be able to give them partners amongst themselves. And I think that I have probably 5 or 6 roosters anyway. So some of these are not going to be staying. And they're all starting to develop and show their faces. But go ahead with your story and then I'll get back to the rooster
Well,
story.
I believe that we've just opened up a whole can of
Whoopworms?
a whole can of worms here. Because I do not think that chickens really, quote unquote, fly. I think that
They can fly.
hold on a minute. Now we have to
They
define
can't
flight.
glide. They cannot glide.
If you've seen a bird fly across your yard, a crow, a pigeon, a dove, we've all seen eagles and hawks and real
Yeah,
true
they can't fly like
flying birds. Now chickens flutter. But not Peapat. Peapat doesn't and hobble to where she wants to go. Peapat literally is able to use her wings. Guys, they flap. They flap. You consider anything that's able to get lift is flight. Okay, this is not the Wright brothers here. She flies differently than the others. The other ones are like
Well, she's got less to lift.
Yeah, we don't have to get into the whole discussion of Orville and Wilbur Wright, okay, and the first airplane and the first, flight, liftoff. They all have liftoff, yes. Even Cornholio and all the turkeys had liftoff.
Yeah.
They could all lift off. But as far as beautiful flight, there's a big difference. And Peapat has flight.
Chickens also float, according to Sister Kim. Why would Sister Kim know that chickens float?
Float?
Yeah.
Like on water?
I don't know.
Well, just don't forget that I did have chickens survive the Hurricane Harvey flood.
Yeah.
So didn't talk much about that, but we didn't see many dead chickens.
Yeah.
Chickens found a way to survive,
I believe
whereas
that.
so many other animals did not.
That's hilarious. So what I was going to say, Edward is one of the roosters, and he's a gold lace Cochin, like he's definitely like barnyard mixed, but he's mean to me, and I've never once had a mean rooster ever. You had Rocky, but he never was out for me to experience that.
Yeah.
Edward is chasing me out of my greenhouse and out of in the morning in the coop. He will run after me, and I'm like, what the heck is this about? And I'll turn it off, and he'll be like, doop, doop, doop. Well, didn't mean it.
Yeah.
But I know that he has it in him, and I don't know why. Edward is not staying. Terrence is our rooster, and several of the Barna Velders, I believe, are roosters. None of them have crowed yet, so I don't know for a fact. And in all the things that I'm studying and looking up, a lot of people say it's very hard to determine because they take a long time. That breed in particular takes a long time to develop. So I know Miss Pat is wanting a rooster. Initially, I wanted to give her Edward because he's beautiful.
Well, give her Edward.
He's mean. I can't give Miss Pat a mean rooster.
Hey, beggars can't be choosers,
I
Miss Pat.
cannot give Miss Pat
Beggars
a mean rooster.
can't be choosers.
And
Miss
maybe he
Pat.
wouldn't be mean if there were no other roosters around. That's the other thing. Is maybe he would not.
Could you imagine it'd be our fault that Miss Pat fall and break a hip?
No, that would be horrible.
She was being chased around by one of our mean roosters.
That would be horrible.
I will say
You
this.
want more coffee?
Yeah, I normally get it for us though.
I know, but I've been talking.
I will say this, and I feel bad for Miss Pat. So I don't know if you guys know this or not, but a while back, Miss Pat and Mr. David invested in having a really nice fence built around their property.
And I mean a good fence, because where dogs can't get in. And in a way that was kind of sad for them and sad for us, because Millie, more so than anybody else, Millie used to love to go over and help guard Miss Pat's chickens. But at some point, Miss Pat and Mr. David found a dead chicken. They found one that was dead. And they saw the feathers. They saw it had been chewed up and eaten on. And they
had also experienced some of other dogs showing up on their property and things like that.
So they called, and they thought that maybe Christmas or Trixie had gone over and killed one of their chickens. And so they said that they pulled out, and Mr. David has amazing cameras. The one area he does not have surveyed or surveilled or whatever is his chicken coop area. But he has front yard, driveway. I mean, he has amazing cameras. And so he says he knows it wasn't Millie, because he watched Millie laying on the porch, sleeping the entire time. She never moved. And so, but he was surprised that one of our other dogs would have come over and got one of the chickens in broad daylight. And I says, Jamie, I says, we got cameras too, and none of our dogs left the house.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like they thought that one of our dogs did. And with that, we're not mad. We're not mad. I was upset for them, and I was upset if one of our dogs had done it.
We were devastated, thinking that if it, because I'm out in the barn a lot, and sometimes the dogs do follow me to the barn.
Yep.
And all I kept thinking was, oh my God, what if it happened then? And it would be weird, because they're not like that with our chickens now.
Yeah.
And also, it just like, it didn't add up.
It didn't add
make
up.
Sense.
So they went ahead, and I don't know how many thousands of dollars they spent, but they had a tractor come out and clear some space, and they come out and took down all the old fence, and they built them a company built them a really nice, tight fence where dogs can't get in. And that kind of made it sad for us, because we would watch Millie walk over, and she would lay at the fence and look through the fence at the chicken coop. And Millie laid there, and she would watch those chickens all day and all night. She'd come home to eat, and it just kind of broke our heart for Millie. But you know what? Hey, that's their property, and it's their prerogative.
And it was our dog, and I would say that Mr. David would text and say, it's really sad to not come home to Millie.
Yeah.
Like, he missed her
He missed Millie
so much.
But they were sure that it was one of our other dogs that come over and got one of their chickens. Until one day, Miss Pat is outside in the yard working in her garden, and she hears the squawking of a chicken, and she looks over, and you were right, whoever said it, there was a fox in her chicken area running and grabbed and killed one of their chickens. While she's outside, broad daylight. And so I told Jamie, I'm so sad that Miss Pat witnessed that.
Yes.
And I'm sad that she lost another chicken. But on one hand, I was happy that she actually saw.
Yes.
And in a way, I felt justified. That I knew then it wasn't one of our dogs.
Because we knew it wasn't from watching the cameras the day that other chicken passed, that it wasn't. But it still was like stressful for us to think that our neighbors felt like we were irresponsible in that way, and that we wouldn't take ownership in that space.
Yeah, that's how I felt. And then for them to go off and spend all that money, and they're older guys, they're trying to run a business, and they don't have just tons of money. And as much money as they spent to build them a fortress of a fence around their property, and I felt like they did all of that to keep our dogs out. And but not all of our dogs. They liked some of our dogs coming over. But on one hand, and this may be horrible of me, but I'm just glad that Miss Pat witnessed a fox.
I think it gave her peace of mind as well, though, to know what was going on.
It gave me peace of mind.
It did. And it also just made me sad, though. Like Millie was heartbroken over the fence situation. Fiona's not as much, but Millie was heartbroken over that.
Fiona wouldn't go over as much. Millie lived over there, it felt like. She would come home to eat.
Millie came home to eat.
And go back and guard chickens.
Yes.
And then, the one thing that kind of baffled me is, as much as we love Millie and them being so protective, Mr. David said that during the chicken attack, Millie slept through the whole thing.
Yeah. On the first one, Millie slept on their porch the whole time, like she was just exhausted. Which is daytime, it is their nature to sleep during the day, so they're nocturnal dogs. Millie has since been protecting our chickens, and she's also been protecting that corner bed back there very well. She really likes the AC in the summertime, it turns out.
Yeah.
But it is sad Miss Pat lost several chickens, and they have piped up their fencing around their chicken coop and chicken yard as well. So if Edward does go over there, he'll be safe. I just hope that Miss Pat is safe.
And then, you know, I was thinking to myself, now remember that a dog and a fox, the size of their head is very, very different.
Mm-hmm.
And so if an animal's head can get through the fence, then usually their body can. And I'm sure that even though they built a fortress of a fence to keep out dogs, these would be larger dogs, not something as small as a fox. A fox is not that big. But
and they have wooded area on their property as well.
And that fox could live in that wooded property.
And that's what we think.
We have, even though we had our goat yard fenced in over here where dogs could not get in, don't forget that we had a fox living in there with our goats for years. Yeah. For years until we had it all clear cut. Yeah. So there was a fox living in the same pasture as our goats. And that fox had tamed down so much that he would come into our shop at night and eat our cat food, take our dog toys, and take them out to the pasture and eat on them and chew on them and play. Yeah, and we caught him doing that so many times. I don't know whatever happened to him. I guess when they began to log and clear it, he ended up finding a new home.
Probably went to go live next door.
Yeah, he might have moved to Miss Pat's.
Oh, it really is our fault.
It was our fox.
No, actually, it was a gray fox over there. Because they've seen it on their cameras, and Mr. David has some live traps set up now for it. And I just told him, I was like, you're probably going to catch some of our cats. And they like our cats going there because it keeps the mice and rodents away as well.
Yeah. Jan Kent says it's sad, but I'm glad to know that they know it was not one of your dogs. I feel the exact same way.
Millie, so Mr. David sometimes would go out of town for work as well. And Millie he called Millie and Fiona the guardians, and he's like, he goes, it brings me peace to know that they're over there with Miss Pat. One time somebody pulled up and was trying to steal something out of their front yard, their little garden cart that they had out there, and Millie and Fiona ran that person off because it was a stranger. Yeah. And I thought that was really amazing as well. I feel sad for them that they had to take that extreme and go that far only for it to happen again. But there is a piece of me that's really happy to prove that it wasn't any of our dogs.
I love Karen Miller. I need to back it up. Hi to hello. So Karen Miller is like just joining. You know what? You get that expression, back it up. Back it up, Karen.
People tell me to back it up when I join your live. Sometimes they're like, back it up, Jamie. And I'm like,
so you jump into my live asking for cliff notes. Okay, what did I miss? Just getting here. What did I miss?
What I said
back it up, Jamie. Back it up, girl.
No, one time I joined and I was like, what did I just walk into? Because you were doing
kazooing.
No, actually, I think you were flea combing your beard.
Yes.
And I was like, what did I just walk into? And I just see
there's nothing that feels better. So what I ended up doing though, is I bent one of the bristles on that flea comb. Jamie knows about this, and I didn't realize it. Guys, I took that flea comb and I come scraping down, and that bent bristle ended up catching and cutting into me before I could, it left a scratch underneath my beard, so you could never see it. But my flea combing days are over. So, and I left all of my beard butter and beard wax over at the RV.
I told him I would give him a full beard makeover, and he was like, but it's mine. I'm like, but come on, just let me do it. We can get it all trimmed up all nice over here. And maybe, what if we dyed it?
Oh, what color? Could we do it blonde?
Yeah.
No, hold on. Could you really dye my beard the way that your hair color?
I can bleach your beard.
Is that possible?
Yeah.
Oh, that will be so fun.
Oh, straight. Do you want stripes?
No, I don't want to go. I don't want to go too outlandish. Some folks can't handle that. Some folks can't handle too much, Jamie. But yeah, why don't we do that? That would be a really fun thing to do. Can we do it on a live?
Time on Tuesday. I don't want to do it at 7 a.m. I have to work.
We can do it on your channel. We'll do it one day during the day though, or one afternoon.
All right.
What if I scare the horses?
Why would it scare the horses?
They think I'm a different guy. I show up as a different man.
Okay.
I don't know.
That ain't
We'll
gonna be
see.
purple.
But someone says there is beard dye.
There is, but so if you want,
Is it called Just for Men? I remember the commercial, Just
there
for
is some
Men.
Just for Men.
And you just comb it in.
But blonde, you have to use bleach. If you're gonna lighten, you got to use bleach.
Hold on, bleach is gonna turn into orange. I'm not having an orange
No,
beard.
you have to tone it out.
Uh,
And you're not very dark, so it'll come out. It'll come light. It'll be fine. It's gonna be totally fine.
Someone says, look at Guy Fieri.
Yeah.
He has it like that. Let me look and see what he looks like.
We can practice on other parts.
Guy Fieri only has blonde hair. He doesn't really have a blonde beard. His beard's
No,
not
he's
blonde.
talking about the stripe.
Oh, one blonde stripe.
I met him. Did you know that?
At a Nashville bar
No. I met him on a plane.
on a plane. Huh. I don't know. We might could go with that. I don't know. That's not really my thing. We'll see. We'll figure it out.
I'll have to go to Sally's and get the stuff. Do they have Sally's here in Texas? Do you know about Sally's?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
This is going to be so fun. They probably have it. Maybe they have it at Ulta. We'll see. I'll find it.
All right. So we need to announce before we go that tomorrow we would like to invite you all to join us for coffee on a different location. We will not be here and we will not be at the JL. It's a surprise where we're going to be, but we're going to have the dogs with us. And so we all want you tomorrow, set your alarms, try to join us for Cowboy Church, but not at a ranch. We will be somewhere on a remote and distant location. But 9:30 our time. Is that a good time or you want to go earlier?
I have no idea.
I think 9:30, but you know what? We can go 8:30 if y'all like 8:30 better. The only problem with going 8:30 is then you got 7:30 and 6:30 for those on the West Coast, and sometimes they're not awake at that time. And we hate for anyone to miss us if you choose to be here. But we're going to have some fun. We're going to try this. And so I think that 9:30 is kind of a good time for you and I to go live together. So how about we just keep it 9:30 tomorrow morning? Now, we'll still have our Sunday night live like we always do, but we don't always go live on Sunday mornings. So tomorrow morning, we want to invite you to join us for on a live video. And I'm going to let you know right now, we're not going to be here and we're not going to be at the JL. We're going to be somewhere special. Can I say that much? I've already said it. You want to add anything else to that? Nothing else you want to add to that?
No, I am not loose lips, Lester.
You are not loose lips, Lester. Okay.
We're taking you on an adventure. That's all I'll say.
And then, being that you're accusing me of loose lipping it, we have some very big things coming up next week. And I mean some big things. So I know you guys work. I know you got a lot going on, but just pay attention to your videos because you don't want to miss out on some of the really big things happening next week. Big things. They have not happened yet, but they're happening.
There are big things coming.
Yes, big things happening.
We've
And
been
then-
on for an hour, so it is time that they can ask questions now.
Well, I wanted to share one
Oh, you're just
snippet.
kidding. Not just go ahead and type them. I'll pay attention.
You can type your questions. I wanted to share one snippet of my poor son. I'm going to send this over to the computer.
We'll be losing Tuesday videos. Why would you lose Tuesday videos? No.
We don't plan on losing any videos.
No, we did not rescue an elephant.
Yeah. Not that big. I hate when it does that. An iPhone update and I can't figure out what's what.
I'm going to show y'all something, and then we're going to talk a little bit about it. So we're not going to leave you quite yet, okay? So what I want to bring up to the screen is I want to present an image. I hope this is it over here. So you asked about my son's vacation. Oh, that's going to be so small. That'll be really hard for y'all to read. But so the day after he got there, I sent him a text. Now, don't forget, they're in Mexico. I said, hey, son, how is your vacation going? And he replies, I hate it. And I says, can you tell me why? He goes, I'm dying over here. I don't want to be here. Everything. We all agree it's so bad. And I said, son, be more specific. And I'm like, are you just kidding? He goes, no, like I'm miserable. Now, you guys might or might not know this, but we have a word that my mom taught us to use. So as we don't say swear to God, we just say yay, which is you've all seen in the Bible, the word yay. Yea, though I walk through the valley, yay. So my mom always taught us to say the word yay if in all serious, if you really are not, you're not lying, say yay. And I'm like, yay, God hears you. And he goes, we can't leave till Sunday. Okay. So remove. So on one hand, that broke my heart for him because he's not really enjoying his vacation. Jamie offered a different explanation. It breaks her heart for Lex's mom because that was her birthday getaway. And she wanted for her birthday this year to be able to take the kids. She's 45 and her first time to ever take the kids out of the country. So she saved her money for this moment. And it was her birthday getaway. And here she is with the kids out of the country. And Lex is not enjoying himself. Oh, boy. Ken, don't leave, Ken. For anyone who's wondering why, because we finally got to the root problem.
Before you show that,
yes.
Here's my things. What I told Lester was, as a mom and as the woman who's the planner, the amount of save up the money, find the place, get everybody's passports, get everybody's clothes, get everybody's life together, haircuts, make all of the appointments in life to go outside of this time, flights, get everybody to the airport, get everybody packed, get everybody through security. The amount of stress and mental things to go through that only for someone that you brought along to say those things is one of the most, disrespectful, hurtful, ungrateful things in the world. And I was like, if that was my kid, I would probably lose it because I never got a vacation like that as a kid.
Nor did I.
And to sit here and have an experience right in front of you with delicious food round the clock, AC, a pool, time away from home, all of those things, and to be so mad because you don't have your Xbox.
Baby, you just ruined Ken's video.
Sorry.
This was Ken's moment to
shine.
Sorry,
Ken.
Ken, this was your moment.
But it set me on fire because it would make me take that Xbox away for the rest of the year.
So come to find out, once we delved deeper into everything, it's because he did not have his Xbox and a part of his routine. Guys, you have to remember that he's 13.
I agree.
And, I think that all of us have our addictions. I bet you, and I know that we do.
Yes.
Most of our addictions are right here. We can't stop watching TikToks. We can't stop watching the news. We can't stop watching. We want things here and now. And so Lex is gone off on vacation, but without an Xbox. And like Mr. Ken says, Ken, you know my son very well. He began to have Xbox withdrawals. I mean, the first day of traveling, obviously.
The day of travel is stressful. I will give anybody that. The day of traveling is stressful. It's not very fun. You're waiting in line for things. It's not fun for a kid. It's not fun for an adult.
And then to wake up the next day, and a part of his routine was waking up and checking out what's going on online on his phone, and then grabbing that Xbox and playing a few games. And he plays with other people. He has friends he plays with. And
for him to wake up, even at a Mexican resort where there's a pool and a hot tub and all of the things, guys. If you've ever been, you know that there's always fun things to do, but he was having Xbox withdrawals.
This is not, and I'm not attacking Lex. It's all kids, and it makes you realize how much that they're missing in life.
Yeah.
And I said that to Lester.
Yeah.
I was like, here's the thing about, like, for us, when he comes here this summer, we're going to make life be more than that Xbox.
Yeah.
Like, this is sick.
Oh,
Like-
Christy reminds us, don't forget tons of food. That is one part. Now, Christy, yes, you're correct. I actually did receive word later that he does like the food. There's a lot of great food and all kinds of it, and it's everywhere. But Jamie's right. I says, Lex, I says, get out of the room, walk along the pool, go to the beach, get in the hot tub.
Go talk to other people, because there's other kids there. They're in the same boat as you.
I says, find people your age. I says, just walk up to them, follow them around, go play in the game rooms. They have places that you can play. And yes, Buddy and Stephanie's kids are also addicted to their Xboxes and their phones. Guys, I don't know
I think
a kid
every
that's
kid
not.
is. I think
And
that's
then
the culture we live in.
don't say kids, because
It's adults too.
I would challenge and believe that a lot. My dad cannot sit at a family event without having his phone, not recording the event, but on his phone. My mom, guys, phones are quite addicting, and I would challenge you to leave your phone put away and go about your day and see how long until you feel that little voice telling you, go check your phone, go check your phone, go check your phone.
I'm addicted to my phone.
Yeah.
I'm fully addicted. And I recognize it too, though. But when I hear those things, I'm like, you know what? No, I'm leaving it inside and I'm going outside. Now, our life is a little bit different because it's also our job to have that phone with us to be able to produce things. So I'm not on it like messaging. I'm on it using it as a tool.
Hey, but here's an example. The other night, I had to go over we were doing macaroni and cheese for Lex, and we didn't have any milk. So I had to run down the road. It's just probably 10 minutes down to the Dollar General. I get in my truck, I start down the driveway, and I normally pat my front pocket from my phone, back pocket from my wallet. My keys are always in my truck if I'm here. And so I head down the driveway, pat my pockets, don't fill my phone. And I turned around and come back to get it.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Now you're going to say, well, Lester, you should have it for an emergency. Guys, that's not why I wanted it. And I had no intention of making a video. I wanted my phone so that I can just kind of see what's going on. If I had a moment to put on a YouTube video or to see what's going on in the world, just wanted my phone. And so I know that it's not just kids. So Mr. Ken, you hit the nail on the head right there with the fact that he didn't have his Xbox and he was out of his routine. But you would just hope that for these 3 or 4 days, he could find a way to enjoy something besides the Xbox.
Yeah.
But I still think that a lot of us adults are responsible for the things that our kids are doing.
Yes.
And the addictions that they have. And I don't know how we're going to stop it. I really don't know how we're going to stop it. I have this horrible fear that at some point AI is going to take over everything. And I'm not trying to scare you all, but there's not hardly a video you can watch on the short videos like the TikToks or whatever that's not AI generated. And so AI is they will confuse you. They will make you believe things are real when they're not. And they do it so darn good. It's so very scary what AI is doing. And I'll tell you what, here's an example of one that I saw. It had this ocean liner had accidentally dropped a container into the water, right? That could happen. A container was not latched down and they hit a wave and a container falls over into the water. And this fella on this jet ski sees it and he starts driving over there to it. The container opens up and all of these motorcycles, beautiful motorcycles, start floating out. And this guy's like, oh my God. And he's driving up to all of these motorcycles, all floating, beautiful motorcycles. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh man, what a find. What an amazing find. He needs to tie them all together and start pulling them in. I didn't. And then I found out once I started reading the comments, AI, motorcycles don't float. The container would never have not been latched and sealed. And I'm like, dang it, that's true. I just got suckered. I got suckered into watching a video that a guy is making money off of that he completely used AI to create.
I got suckered this week too, and I didn't tell you about it.
Tell us all. I done told y'all how I got suckered.
It was a video about Garden of the Gods in Illinois, which is a huge hiking place in southern Illinois that I've been to many times. It was like a huge discovery in the caves. They found 300 years of shoes, and they had traces of blood, and it was this back part of this cave that they'd not heard, that nobody's explored before. And it was basically insinuating that somebody had been putting the shoes of bodies in there, like their collection. It wasn't until I was about halfway through and realized that I was like 300, and it showed the shoes, and it showed 300 years of shoes, and they all looked to be exactly from the same era, and I was like,
oh,
dang it, dude. There's a Garden of the Gods in Colorado and Illinois. Just somebody said that's in Colorado. Actually, Garden of the Gods. There's also Garden of the Gods in Illinois.
Deborah says she gets mad at herself for wasting her time. I
was mad at myself
because I watched the entire video and it was like at least a minute long.
I'm worse. I shared it with my mother before I watched the entire video, and then I'd heard like, "Don't look at that. It's AI."
Yeah, but AI, you can have there, and guys, we have those on anyone can do it. Anybody, it is free. You can actually ask the AI what to create for you. Give me a video of this. Give me a video of that. Give me a picture of this. And Google AI or whatever you use will give you what you're looking for. And it's crazy scary how they can take what you want and then you can just continually oh, I've seen that. Yes. Have y'all seen the babies?
My gosh, yes.
They take babies of all of the actors and politicians and celebrities.
But have you seen the Bigfoot?
A baby Bigfoot?
No.
Oh, no.
I don't know. I don't know if I can download it or not. Let me see. I don't think I can.
Yes. Well, yes, I'm not.
Yo, figured I'd get out of the woods for a bit and try my hand at farming.
Oh, boy.
Gotta say, these cows. Oh, shit. So, apparently there's a guy called the milk inspector here.
He literally talks like he's real.
This one I call Brenda.
So ridiculous.
My ex-wife.
So ridiculous. He moves normal.
Did you say Gucci the cow? Oh yeah, I know him. He was that cow that went viral.
The volume's so low, babe.
I don't know. Anyway, I got hooked on the Bigfoot trend now, the Bigfoot AI guy, which is really just a guy that they changed to be Bigfoot. And now it's all over my stuff and I can't get rid of it. And it's funny.
Yeah. Well, we've played around with AI and goofed off with it. Not on our videos. Guys, I promise you, Carl is real.
Yes.
Okay. Carl is real and all our animals are real. We don't have any fake AI animals. Okay. But I remember that when I made a video, was it a tribute to someone that passed away? And I used all of the political figures and they were talking.
Yes.
And so it was crazy how I was able to take celebrities and political figures and make them talk and say whatever I wanted them to say. And I told Jamie, this is so scary because any influencer or any channel that has a following could say, did y'all see what was on the news this morning? And they could play that and you're naturally inclined to believe people.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you just put out fake news across your channels and that people share with their moms. And then you can completely influence the way people see or feel about things. I don't know. And I don't think I like the future and where it's going.
I wish it had a way to call it out instantly so that you didn't get confused because
they should.
Yeah.
Tech should on there put AI generated. And they can do that very easily.
Because they can sure tell so many other things. Why can't they tell that?
They will. They do, Jamie. That's so smart. They should. Congress should do something. Congress should pass something. Congress should do something this year. And that would be an amazing law that they could pass, that anything AI generated has to have a cliff note.
People say that on TikTok it does.
On TikTok it does. I don't do TikTok, so I don't know. But that's a really smart thing.
There's somebody else named Mary, spelled like Merry Christmas, said that I was born a skeptic. I was born a skeptic. I'm more of a skeptic than Lester is on things. I'm like, wait, what? But well, I wouldn't say that actually. You're a skeptic too, just in a different way. We're both skeptics, but I still was duped. I was, and then I shared it with my mother. Fail, so fail.
Okay, so I just typed into YouTube baby presidents AI generated. So once again, I am not making a political. I know
that one's horrible.
It is horrible.
That was horrible. Horrible.
I'm not trying.
But hilarious at the same time.
She's a crooked person. She's a bad person. Evil. She's an evil, sick, crazy.
His hair is so cute.
He is cute. Oh Lord.
You're gonna get us.
Yeah. Oh no.
You're gonna get us demonetized, Lester.
I don't want to. Stop it! Stop it! See how AI just takes over? You can't hardly not watch
the day that a baby Lester comes out, though.
Oh my gosh. You can't hardly, but here's the thing. You just can't hardly not watch it, because there's no way that a human can do those. So it requires AI to do it. And babies are just cute. No matter who this is not a political channel, but it doesn't matter. A baby Vladimir Putin is cute. And a baby Zelensky is cute.
It is.
And that baby Kim Jong-un or whatever,
freaking cute.
he was cute, little Chinese baby or Korean baby.
With a beard.
With a beard. Playing old McDonald's songs.
So painting the Eiffel Tower. So funny and ridiculous.
So people are kind of wondering, do I really have a beard, or is this all AI?
Yeah, that's AI.
Is this all AI? I promise you, if I could AI my beard, I'd be a lot better looking man. If I could AI myself, I promise y'all, I would have broader shoulders, bigger man chest, not girl boobs. I'd have a flat stomach with these little ripples that come right through here. My arms would be this big. I would have a full head of hair. Trust me, I would get rid of the wrinkles under my eyes. If I could AI myself, woo.
Oh, same here.
Oh boy,
I would
have
have
some fun.
I would have no crow's feet. I certainly wouldn't have these roots exposed. My hair girl is pregnant and about to give birth, so we're just gonna hope for the best over the summer. Maybe
Someone
I'll find
says,
some old school sun.
Would I give myself bottom teeth? Guys, I have bottom teeth. Why did everyone say that? You know where that came from?
No, I don't.
That was something that Justin said, which was his kind of a joke, and everyone believed it. Lester's but he doesn't have any bottom teeth. I have bottom teeth. I've
never even thought anything about. People don't see my bottom teeth. Look,
I have every tooth in my mouth is really mine.
Not me.
I have
now.
I have every tooth. And at my age, I have no cavities. Knock on wood, hurry, Jamie, knock on something. I have no cavities.
He has a self-cleaning mouth. He has the most amazing teeth. I'm jealous of his teeth. He has amazing teeth.
Yeah.
Somebody says Manuela says fake, Jamie fake.
Guys. Anyway, no, but I have top and bottom teeth. I don't know. I guess when I talk, it only shows my top. Let me see you talk. Just say something.
I only ever can see my top.
Yeah, I actually saw your bottom right there.
Did you?
I don't think that I ever show my bottom for some reason.
Do that. Yeah. You have teeth.
When I do that, you can see all the flaws in my teeth. Don't get me wrong.
normal.
I have plenty of chips and cracks, okay? I have plenty of chips and cracks.
They're so
in
minute.
my teeth.
So minute. He has beautiful teeth.
But I do have
and
all
a
my
beautiful
teeth.
Smile.
It's crazy. I'm going to tell y'all something that's going to gross you out. I said it before, and I don't think I lost too many subscribers when I said this. But do you want to know something scary and weird and crazy? Jamie hates this about me. I have never in my lifetime gone to a dentist. Don't hate me. Don't be
No.
mad at me.
I was jealous.
People think that I'm gross though. They think that it's so gross. I've never been to a dentist.
It's not gross. It's natural. And I have been at a dentist office since I was 4. So, I mean, now once a year to get them all clean and I'm good. But before that, I had $1 million mouth as well. Like, it's amazing. And I was envious that he has a self-cleaning mouth.
Well, I just think that people think that you should go have your teeth cleaned, and I've never had my teeth cleaned. I don't think that you should,
because if you have no problems, why on earth would you invoke them?
Well, so I don't like do anything weird, but I just never had a need. So you know how they talk about getting your molars removed and all those things? I've never had any teeth pain to go to a dentist and get molars removed. I guess my teeth just, do I even have molars?
Let me see. Yes, you have all of your molars.
So it's weird that I have molars and I never got them removed.
You don't mean molars.
Wisdom
you mean
teeth?
Wisdom teeth. Yeah, let me see one more time. Stick your tongue out all the way. Further. Stick it to the left. No, you didn't come in.
So my wisdom teeth, what? Is that something weird?
No, sometimes they don't come in.
So I've never had wisdom teeth come in.
That explains a lot.
Well, there you go. There you have it. That explains a lot of things there, Jamie. Unfortunately.
No, he has beautiful teeth. He doesn't have any that are missing. He has none that have holes or spaces in between, like none of those things. And like
someone says maybe it's all the milk, because I have drank milk my whole life. I love milk. Do you think milk really could be the reason?
No, because milk has a lot of sugar in it, and it actually would be opposite.
Oh.
I actually think, if you want to know the truth, he eats I know that he drinks a lot of milk. He does not have a high sugar diet. That's, if you want to know the truth,
sweets,
is like
not candy.
While he does eat rice, he eats a very like meat starch balanced diet and doesn't have he did not grow up drinking sodas and other things because they didn't have it. So during he just has good genetics as well.
There's a lot of folks who never got their wisdom teeth. So it's not that I'm just something weird about me. There's a lot of folks. And there's one lady who still has her baby teeth, even at the age of 46.
I believe that. Xander had extra teeth.
Extra teeth.
So did Jalen. Jalen was born with 3 front teeth.
And then, so I don't know about the genetic part of it, but my dad had my dad had dentures by the time he was 40 years old. My dad was as young as 40 and had a full set of top and bottom dentures because his teeth were so bad. So no, I brush and I floss and I like to gargle.
He has a water pick as well.
I have a water pick and I gargle, gargle. Not every day. And I'll be honest, some days when I'm busy, I will sometimes forget to brush my teeth some days.
But the thing is that you drink Dr. Peppers now, but that's not been his whole life or anything like that. He's 55 now. So at younger ages,
Kelly goes, that's just sick. That's just sick. Well, to each his own. I know people who go to the dentist and get their teeth cleaned all the time.
And still have a ton invested in their mouths. I did. I had fillings from a little kid. I had spacers put in. I do think that I had a dentist once tell me that my teeth were not made for the metal that the braces were made, and that the braces were very harmful at that time period. And I don't know, I spent a lot, but now, thanks to a horse, I don't have to see a regular dentist anymore.
Yeah. Thanks, Rita.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, we have had you guys for a while. Is there someone who wanted to ask any questions? I think that what we should always do is do a quick State of the Union. Just go around the farm right quick and talk about what's going on with everything. We could actually save a lot of questions.
Okay.
So you want to start that?
All right. So we gave Ernie his last recommended treatment from the vet, and we will have to test again probably the end of next week or the beginning of the following week. But overall, I think he's feeling okay. He's eating. All the alpacas are back together. As far as the littles pasture, knock on wood, everybody's doing well. You want to update on Carl and Co?
Sure. I've made probably more videos than what people want to watch with Carl, because it's just like such a big deal to us, to me, mostly me. But
Oh, it's a big deal. We just feel very differently about that big deal.
Carl has changed his demeanor. He's no longer being aggressive. Instead, he's kind of getting into more of a defensive. Jamie actually put a really nice title to it. She says he's playing defense, no longer playing offense.
Sure.
And you can go out into the pasture with Carl, and he does not want to attack you. He doesn't want to run up and, rip your guts out.
Nobody wants to protect what he has.
All he likes to do is kind of like he keeps his back to the eggs, and he watches you. No matter where you go, he keeps his back to those eggs, and he's just not going to let you get close to them while the ladies lay on the eggs. And we've seen both ladies laying on the eggs, and so Carl's in a guarded kind of a mode. But and then we have been a little bit curious about some things. The fact that the first time Carl had babies, which was several years ago, when he laid on the eggs to hatch them, he did not move for like 2, maybe 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say he did not move, he wouldn't go to get water. He wouldn't come up to eat.
Yeah.
And it scared us. It scared us to where we were taking food and water to him. And we thought that maybe, there was something wrong. We actually thought Carl might die, which terrified us.
Yeah.
We're happy to know that this time around, we see that the females are also sitting on eggs, and they almost never did back then, but they were young. Carl was more mature, possibly. Now we think, and we're just thinking, that Carl is allowing the ladies to sit on the eggs more, which gives him, go ahead, you got to get it?
I just need to reply to this.
Which gives him more free time to come up and eat. But we're looking every day. There's a lot of activity over there with all 3 of the birds hanging around. We're watching them inspect the eggs. And so Carl is in a very defensive mode, which makes me think any day now. I don't know the exact first day he began to set, so we know it's about 45 days from then. But I'm just so happy that Carl's still coming up and eating and drinking, and then going back to sit on the eggs and to guard the eggs while he's not sitting on them. So that's what's going on with Carl. And then I will also let you know that I've told Jamie, I made her this promise that number one, we already have people who are asking for babies, female babies, of course, and that's fine. As long as they go to a good home, then I'm completely okay with that. I will not be sending any males off to someone that does not really know what they're doing and don't have a proper fencing to maintain and hold a male. All right. So but we do know who will take males and would love to have more. So we will take care of all of that. And then I told Jamie, any birds that we do not give to someone who's asking for one, I give her my word, I will take them to the JL Ranch. I will do that. I will get me some cardboard and create myself a protective layer, and I will begin to grab Carl and anyone else and load them up, and we will take us a trailer ride over, and they will have beautiful, beautiful pastures and shelter and all of the things that they need to live their best lives at the JL Ranch, which is going to make the JL Ranch even more majestic. Think about it for a minute. Right now, it is a very majestic place. Don't say it's not. The JL Ranch is the land of giants, not always in stature, but in personalities. There are some giant personalities over there.
There are.
And so having Carl and friends and family over there is going to make that place even more majestic, because it is the land of giants. Like I said, maybe not in stature, even though Roman's pretty damn big.
It
But,
just assures that I will not be going in that pasture, is what that is. Lester just wants to keep me out, I guess.
They will be in a very safe and secured location, okay? They will be in a safe and secured location. Anyway, so that's the deal with Carl.
Horses here are doing wonderful and great.
Lots of swimming happening because the days have been hotter. Chickens are good. Kittens are good. Mama Eclipse moved her babies up to the garage 2 days ago. So that happened as well.
I don't know if we'll ever be able to tame those kittens down though. When they're that age and they won't come to you and you can't the only thing you could ever do is trap them in a box
Well, that's
trap.
what I'm going to have to do because they're getting fixed.
And you have to fix them. Yeah. But
like
then
Eclipse, Eclipse comes up to me. That's no problem. She's getting fixed actually next month, which isn't very far away, to be honest with you. It's like 9 days away.
yeah.
But either way, Eclipse is going to get fixed, and then we have a couple months to be able to catch those babies. I'm hoping because she brought them to the garage that we can start to at least where they don't run when they see us. Like that would be amazing, but we're going to have to work on that.
And then can we talk a little bit? I know that we're running over, but can we talk a little bit about the fact that we went and looked at site-built homes yesterday? That video is on Jamie's channel. I would invite you to go check it out. But what we discovered yesterday is going to completely change how we move forward with our future home project. Guys, we have taken you guys to probably 5 or 10 mobile home locations. We've gone to 1 modular home location. And what we don't really ever talk about with you all is the price. Many of y'all on your own will research and dig up how much homes cost and like to talk about that. We don't like to talk about the money that's involved, but I will say this. We sit down with the fella yesterday, the really young man, what's his name? Nathan. And went over some prices. And we have decided that we will never, ever go back to a mobile home or a modular home location again, because they're actually way overpriced right now.
Yeah.
What Mr. Nathan said, and this may just be regional, this might be regional, but it's the fact that the site-built homes and modular homes obviously, you know that a site-built home is made of a lot better quality and whatnot. We've all known that. But a lot of people are having to finance help me explain how this works, babe. I'm lost. I don't know much about this.
So in the era, there are many people that don't own the land, so they can do a mobile home, and that's why those are very popular.
So that was the reason that we've always had mobile homes where I live. I've never owned land. My dad has always owned the land. So all of us kids were forced to have mobile homes because you don't have to own the land. And there are so many people who don't own land. And I can just say immigrants. I'm not making anything mean, but lots of immigrants who don't own land are able to get a mobile home because if they don't pay it, just like with your car, they come repo it.
And that has driven the prices of mobile and modular like crazy high.
That has sent the prices up like crazy. So when we looked at these 3 homes yesterday and sat down and just got some ideas on some numbers and found out that these numbers are
less,
in many cases, less than what these mobile and modular homes are. We looked at each other and like, damn, never knew that. But if you don't own land, you're not able to put land for collateral when you finance a home. And so you're forced to do a modular or mobile because if you don't pay for it, they just come by and hook onto your house and take off with it and resell it. But if you own land and you can finance something of a site built, then you don't pay your note. They come take your entire house and land. You all know how that works. So
the thing is that like we aren't saying we're going with that. And I don't want you to say we're never stepping into another mobile or modular home place again, because to be honest with you, we got a lot of ideas of layout and things like that from that I genuinely still love some of the layout and ideas of the places we walked through. The thing about the stick-built homes, though, is that while they do have designs and all of the things, they can do almost anything. So we can take some of the things that we've learned. I never want to say like that was such a waste of time or we'll never because you can take some of those things that you love from that and have them placed into something like we walked through yesterday. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So
Joanne says, Rockport, Rockport, Rockport.
oh boy.
I love the Rockport as is. We're driving and Lester goes, I don't understand those top cabinets. He's like, what a waste of space to have a second set of cabinets up top. And you're never going to be able to reach those. Why would you ever use those? And then I showed him this when we got home. And I'm like, see that up there, that big open space?
Yeah, I get it now. I get it now.
It's just a different way of displaying that same area. Space still exists.
Yeah. And then someone says, I think that the mobile homes might be higher in Texas
That's what I'm
because
saying.
of your
They are.
immigration issues.
They are.
And that could very well be. But at the same time, I don't think it would be safe to buy a mobile home in Mississippi and have it driven all the way to Texas. Think about all of the wear and tear on your home being transported.
But the
down the
supply and
highway.
demand is much higher in the southern states than the middle of the country as well. So like the price is driven by the demand for it. So they're significantly expensive. It's like coming out of COVID when there were no cars and all of the cars had that extra sticker price on top of it. It's very similar.
Yeah.
They can't keep up with the production is behind because there's so many sales of them down here. So there's a huge demand because there's huge growth here as well because people are coming from many places to move to Texas.
Yeah.
So all of that in conjunction, when we sat down and asked the questions yesterday, we were both like, well, this just opened up a whole Pandora's box for us of like,
Yeah.
now what's next?
No, so I will say this. I have lived in 2 mobile homes in my lifetime, and I've loved them both.
Mhm.
I love the convenience.
Me too.
I've never
Lived
had
in
an
1.
issue with anything as far 3. I've lived in 3. I lived in 3. And I've never had an issue with anything that had to do with construction or things falling apart or things breaking or anything like that, the way a lot of people say. Never have I dealt with any of those issues. And but what I am saying right now is the only reason why we are going to start looking more at the site builds when we start thinking about getting more serious about this is the fact that they're actually cheaper than what I thought they were going to be. They're significantly cheaper than what I thought. And these are some nice homes.
They were beautiful.
So anywho, well, listen, it's been a long live. We have to let you guys go. We love you so very much. Super blessed to have you. Is there anything else you wanted to say before we cut this thing?
Thanks for giving us the greatest gift of all, which is your time. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning for coffee.
Tomorrow morning, you'll be excited. You don't want to miss it, okay? We cannot forget to take a coffee maker and coffee pot with us and coffee cups.
Don't ruin it, Lester.
Down in Texas where the sun runs high, there's a place where hearts and spirits fly. I'm a survivor stands for all who've been through. A second chance, a promise, pure and true. They take the broken, the battered, the lost, love without measure, no counting the cost. Every hoof and paw gets the life it deserves. A pasture of hope where kindness curves. We're all survivors of something you see, bound by the winds of destiny. Together we heal, together we thrive, and I'm a survivor. We're keeping dreams alive. The rooster crows at the break of dawn. Life rolls on, the pain is gone. Each animal here gets its own sweet song. A family where all the broken belong. Stretching fences and wide open skies, where love's the language that never lies. of dawn. Life rolls on, the pain is gone. Each animal here gets its own sweet song. A family where all